Hello, everyone. This is Aaron Barber. I'm the race director for this year's Coldwater Rumble. We have a new venue. We're still in Estrella Mountain Regional Park this year, but we're at a different location at the competitive track. It gives us a lot more room. You'll be able to run through the crew zone similar to Javelina, and we think it's an overall better runner experience. Also, we get to utilize more trails within the park. So I'm excited about this race. I wanted to go over some details with everyone before race week. And a lot of these will be found in the runner guide, which will be posted this weekend. But I'd like to talk about some of the stuff. So let's just hop right to it, and we can go over the courses because they are new. We got away from the 5-loop washing machine style course for something a little bit different. For the 100-mile, 100K, 60K, it's going to be a combination of red loops and blue loops. So 100-mile is 2 red loops and then 3 blue loops. The 100K is a red loop and 2 blue loops. The 60K is a red loop and a blue loop. The 40K is a little bit special. It's in essence 1 blue loop, so you're going to follow the markings for the blue loop. But let's overlay the 40K course, with the exception of this one little shortcut. So 40K runners, you're going to hit the Dysart aid station and immediately take a right. This intersection will be well marked, and this will take you right to the next aid station. And that gets the course exactly 40K. No one else is going to take this shortcut except the 40K runners. So the loops are, the red loop is a little bit hilly, and we can kind of take you through some of the details. There's your elevation profile. Ooh. So we're going to start up top here. You go this way. You're kind of climbing, but you don't really feel it until you get to about right here. This is a decent climb. You get up to a saddle on this mountain, and you got a nice descent. You'll then take a hard right and hit your aid station around mile 5. And then you have another little climb right here. And it's pretty flat all the way to the start-finish. For the start-finish, after every loop, you come around, and we'll go over this later. The blue loop, little hilly in the beginning, and then it kind of rolls, and we'll kind of go through some of that. So leaving the start-finish, Rumble HQ, you're going to be climbing for a bit. Then it kind of flattens out. It rolls on the Maricopa Trail. And then this is all gentle uphill until you get down to what we call Rainbow Valley Aid. This used to be Peterson Aid. Peterson Aid was more over here. We moved it so you don't have to run too far between aid stations. This is still the longest stretch. So this is 9 miles from Rumble HQ to Rainbow Valley. So make sure you're stocked up with everything because it could take a while. But you'll hit this aid station, and then you'll go into the famed Corget Wash. This is pretty sandy down here. And you'll make your way through some rolling hills to the Dysart aid station. There's one nice climb right here. After Dysart aid, this is pretty rolly. You probably won't feel it the first lap, but laps 2 and 3 for you 100-milers, it could be tedious. The Coldwater Ranch aid station is located at the rodeo grounds. You'll do a short little out and back to hit the aid station every lap. This has crew access and pacer access, and we'll get into those details later as well. And then you'll make your way back to Rumble HQ to restart your journey. This is shared trail right here, so you have about 3 or 4 miles of trail that's going to be multi-directional, but it's nice and wide. Shouldn't be an issue for anyone. Our 5-mile, we'll overlay it with the red loop because it goes similar to that. Instead of starting this way, the red loop starts over here. The 5 mile is going to go straight out like you're following the blue loop, but then it goes on its own trails, and it will be well marked that it's only a 5 mile turnoff right here. The blue loop actually turns this way. 5 milers would keep going this way. Whoops. You won't hit an aid. 5 milers, you don't have an aid station on your course. You'll be able to see it. You're up on this ridge right here. And then you got this little climb. And then you can scream back to the finish. Come on in. And even 5 milers, you do a lap through the crew zone. High five your friends and family before you hit the finish line. 10 milers, you have it pretty easy. You just do one red loop. So you're going to start going out this way. Same thing. Do the red loop and back in. So that covers our courses, kind of the layout of them. This is actually our headquarters area. So just to be a little bit more in depth about how this all works, our start finish will be right here. There's going to be a junction. It looks complicated, but really there shouldn't be much decision making to be made. All you longer distance that start with the red loop go out this way to begin, and then everyone, after they finish the red loop, will continue on to the blue loop, except the 100 milers. 100 milers will go out for another red loop. And I've got giant signs made to put right here for blue loop and red loop and which way to go. We'll make sure that no 100 milers get started on their blue loops too early. And all distances come in from this way, and they run all the way through the parking lot, through the crew zone, Javelina-esque, and hit the finish line. This should be a good experience if you have friends or family watching you, or if you're in a longer distance and you need your crew. We have it tentatively set up. So car camping is going to be on this side, and our tent rentals will be over here. And then this whole interior of the loop, we are asking you to bring pop-ups. We got lots of room for this year. So if we can load it with pop-ups and bring the energy, and then all your longer distances will have access to that crew spot every single lap. Now, when you're coming in, like if you're driving here, we'll go over here. I'll kind of zoom out a little bit. So this is Phoenix. I don't know why it's doing that. And if we go over to the park, if you've run Coldwater before, headquarters used to be over here. Now we're closer to the Phoenix Raceway. So you're going to come off of Indian Springs Road. There will be a sign that says Estrella Mountain Regional Park competitive track. Just make sure to take the second left. It's this one, not this one. We'll have a sign out there, and it'll be well marked. You go through the raceway parking lots, and then you'll turn in here and come in. This is our headquarters area. If you notice all these parking lots, these are going to be spectator parking lots. We'll go back to here. So there's a lot of room right here for runner parking, but we want to save that for runner parking. So if you're family or friends or spectators, there's lots and lots of room in all these lots over here. And it's less than a quarter-mile walk over to the headquarters. And then for actually driving in, I'll go back to this one. There's multiple entrances to use. I'll go back to this one. This one's going to be blocked off for RVs because we're going to have our car camping and RVs over here. And it will be manned. This one, no one goes on because it's the race course. Our start-finish line's up here. So you have to drive all the way down to this one and this one on race day. During Friday for setup, you can come in and drive on either one of these before it's barricaded off. And we're going to start setting up camping stuff at 1 p.m. on Friday. So if you come in at 1, you'll be able to set up pop-ups. If you rented a tent, we'll have that set up for you. Or if you have like an RV or you're camping in your car, we can direct you to the right place. At 1 p.m., if you come earlier, we will not be able to help you because we'll be finishing our setup for the race. And then at 2 p.m., packet pickup starts at Rumble HQ right on site. And then there's packet pickup race morning as well. But I advise you to bring a pop-up and get this infield, what we call rockin'. I think it just adds to the race atmosphere. All right. So then let's talk aid stations. Let's just do red loop, blue loop. Here's our overview of the whole map. Gila aid, This is going to be a smaller aid station because most runners will be off the red loop fairly early in the morning. They'll just have traditional offerings. Your big aid stations are going to be Coldwater Ranch, Dysart, and Rainbow Valley. Now, I don't want to talk about drops, and I don't encourage you to drop. If you are not having the day that you'd like and you plan or you decide to not continue with the race, I'd highly recommend not dropping at Rainbow Valley. This is a 45-minute drive just to get from start finish to Rainbow Valley, at least. So if you drop and you want to ride out, it could be hours by the time we have a truck available to get over there and get back there to get you. So keep that in mind, but don't drop. Definitely don't drop. This is very doable. Dysart and Coldwater will be substantial aid stations, big 20 by 20s and lots of food offerings, and we'll get to the menu real quick here. And then we've got crew access and pacer access at Coldwater Ranch Aid or the Rumble headquarters, the start finish. So in terms of a menu, what we're going to offer at each one, I will put the actual timeline and which aid stations, which food will be located at in the runner guide. But just so you know what will be offered, aside from like traditional offerings, I think every Aravaipa race has the Coke, the Mountain Dew, the ginger ale, fruit snacks, the salty snacks, and all that. In addition to that, we've got grilled cheese, tomato soup, quesadillas, pasta, potato soup, a mashed potato bar, pancakes, breakfast burritos, hot dogs, chicken salad sandwiches, chickpea sandwiches, turkey and cheese sandwiches, chili and rice, hummus and avocado roll-ups, turkey and cheese roll-ups, pinwheels, pulled pork, and the Andrew Glaze special vegan lentil sloppy joes. Again, in the runner guide, we'll have the breakdown of roughly when those will be available. Not all those options will be available at every hour of the day. We kind of rotate the menu depending on the weather and the time of day. Hot offerings more at night in the cooler weather, and the more refreshing stuff during the day. Now, crews and pacers. We went over that they can jump in at Coldwater Ranch or the start finish. So you'll have this whole area to see your crew and pacer every single lap. You come in on the purple here. You can hit the aid before if you want. I'd encourage you to do it after, just so you don't forget. But go through your crew zone, stop at your crew, hit the start finish, hit the aid station, go out for another lap. Pacers can jump in at the Rumble headquarters, and they can join the 100K for the last blue loop, so the last 27 miles. And they can join the 100 milers for the last 2 blue loops. So roughly mile 47, they're allowed to jump in. You can also jump in and out at Coldwater Ranch, which is over here. So let's say you do have a pacer and they only want to do 20 miles. They can't do the whole 27. They can jump in at the start finish and jump out at Coldwater Ranch. Or if you have a pacer that just wants to run the end of the race with you or just a smaller section, they can jump in at Coldwater Ranch and jump out at start finish. You'll have to provide your own transportation. Or a pacer can run the last 50 miles with you if you have got good friends like that. Now, if you have a whole crew or a whole team with you, we're going to call this whole Rumble headquarters a neutral zone. So if you've had multiple pacers throughout the day or their crew busting their butt for you and you want to cross the finish line with them, they can jump in anywhere around here, and I don't care if you've got 5 people running with you to the finish line only, but we're going to have this whole headquarters be a neutral zone for pacers and crew. And pacers don't need to register. We don't need a pacer bib for this race. It'd be nice to let the aid station captain know if you're going to join someone, but we're not requiring bibs or signing in and out. Lastly is getting to that crew access. So here's where we were. This one's being all trippy. I'm going to go back here. So you leave the Rumble headquarters to get to Coldwater Ranch. Just like you came in, you get back to Indian Springs Road and drive right here. A lot of Google Maps will show that you can just drive off this road and then jump in here. that will likely not be the case. I am working as hard as I can to get this gate open. I'm not sure if it's going to actually happen. The traditional way to get in is to go into the actual Estrella Mountain Regional Park. The entrance is over here, and you'll follow Casey Abbott Drive and all the way back, and you just look for signs that say Rodeo Grounds, and then the aid station will be back here. But I'll try to get this gate open, but likely it will be driving around this way to reach this aid station. And like I said, all this information we'll put into the runner guide, and that will go up on Monday, likely. And that'll have the timeline for the menus and all this pacer and course information as well. But other than that, I am excited to have everyone out there. If you have any questions leading up to the race that I haven't covered today, feel free to email me directly. It's aaronbarber@aravaiparunning.com. And I'm happy to answer any question for you. Other than that, I'm stoked to see everyone, and we'll see you Friday and Saturday and Sunday for the 2024 Coldwater Rumble. Thank you.